Today, I want to talk about change and, in specifically, why do leaders resist change? In the last 1 year or so, the entire world has changed. The way we conduct business, the way we communicate, the way we connect with people, the way we are living our lives, everything has changed and will continue to change because there is still a lot of uncertainty around. And hence, change management becomes a very important skill for leaders to develop. In fact, I'll say it's not even a skill set; it's a mindset, it's an attitude. And yet, many leaders resist change. Why do we resist change? Whenever there is a change happening in our lives, whether it's personal or professional, it pushes us outside our comfort zone. It disturbs a normal equilibrium, and hence we show resistance. And if you dig deep down enough, behind every resistance to change will be some form of fear. So, today I want to talk about what are some of the common reasons why leaders resist change and what is the real reason behind it. The first form of resistance leaders show when it comes to change is this won't work. So that's the response you get. And the real reason behind that response is some form of fear. And that fear usually is fear of failure. Uh, and the leaders typically think is that if this does not work, how will it reflect on me as a leader? The second form of resistance or excuse leaders give for not changing is they say, we have tried this in the past. And the real reason for this form of resistance is usually a past failure or a series of past failures. And this is where leaders allow the past failures come in the way of present and future decision making. The third form of resistance, which might appear when it comes to change management, is leaders telling what happens if this does not work. And the reason behind this form of excuse or resistance is fear of uncertainty and a perceived loss of control on the outcome as a leader. The fourth and the most common form of resistance which leaders show is when they say, everything seems pretty fine, why should I change? This probably is the most common one, right? Because leaders want to stay in their comfort zone. You don't want to disturb the equilibrium around yourself. So people don't change until unless the pain is high or the gain is high. So there could be a problem at workplace, there could be some challenge in the business, but in a way you are waiting that problem to become very acute and you have somehow adjusted to the current situation. So the pain is not high, and sometimes you are not even having a foresight to see what all possibilities you can create for yourself and your teams, so you're not able to see how much gain you can get by changing. The fifth form of resistance which commonly comes across is when leaders say, I don't have time. Now that's so not true, right? We all have time for the right things. And when somebody comes up with this sort of resistance, it means that the problem is neither urgent nor it's expensive. So whatever the change is trying to solve, in view of the leader, it's not an urgent problem. Another form of resistance which you may find leaders showing up is saying, I don't think I can do it. And this again leads to some sort of underlying fear, and invariably that fear could be a fear of failure. It could be also some sort of self-doubt in leaders, and hence they feel that I don't think it is possible. And the final form of resistance which we see in leaders is there's too much of an effort involved in this, so I won't do it. And now, this type of excuse leaders give is only when they feel that like the gain or the perceived value of the change is not very high and not worth the effort. So these are some of the common forms of resistance we see in leaders. Again, the key is to really understand the real reason behind that excuse or the resistance, because once you are aware of the real reason, then you can work around those reasons so that leaders are more aware, more accepting, and they can lead and manage change.